Hello, welcome to BioGreat TV. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. Major cultural practices of the Yoruba ethnic group of Western Nigeria. Back in the 7th century BCE, there were African inhabitants in the geographical space currently identified as Yoruba land, sharing a common language and ethnicity. However, these people were not known as Yoruba at the time. As of the 8th century, a powerful kingdom already existed in Ile-gbo, currently known as Ile-Ife. It was one of the earliest in Africa and considered the capital of the realm of humanity, as it was associated with Oduduwa, Obatala, and Sango. The Yoruba people constitute an ethnic group that live in Western Africa, particularly Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Senegal, and Liberia, making up over 50 million people worldwide. Though as a result of slave trade, when several people of Yoruba origin were taken to work on plantations in Europe and America, Yorubas can now be found in Brazil, Cuba, the Caribbean, and other countries. Yet, Nigeria still has the vast majority of the Yorubas, where they consist of over 23% of the country's population, being one of the largest ethnic groups in Africa. They speak the Yoruba language, the Niger-Congo language with the highest number of native speakers. The Yorubas share borders with the Ishakiri to the southeast, the Niger Delta to the northeast, and Bariba as well as Benin Republic to the north. To the northeast is the Ibira, and to the east is Edo. They share borders with the Ishan and Afemai groups in Midwestern Nigeria. Finally, to the southwest are the Gun, Fon, and Ewe communities. They have various cultural practices that they value highly. Some of these practices are child naming, wedding, also known as Owambe, and funeral. A major belief in the Yoruba worldview is that the three most significant moments in a person's life are when they are born, when they get married, and when they die. Owing to the belief that names are like spirits that will fulfill their meanings, Yorubas do a thorough search before naming their babies. Naming ceremonies in Yoruba land are bursting with hopes, expectations, and prayers. These naming ceremonies usually have various symbolic items such as honey, cola, bitter cola, water, sugar, alligator pepper, palm oil, sugar cane, salt, and liquor, each having its own significance. Honey, for instance, symbolizes sweetness. Prayers are said that the baby's life will be as sweet as honey. In addition to names given by the child's parents, members of the extended family, too, will give the child various names. They may also give the child money and clothing, among many other gifts. Despite the numerous names, the child's parents will call them by their most preferred name, and that's likely what sticks. Another major cultural practice of the Yoruba people is the wedding ceremony. It begins with the courtship after a young man identifies a young woman whom he loves. He tells his friends and they communicate his interest to her. The young man eventually speaks with her after the intermediaries have done a great job of winning her attention and possibly her interests. Shortly after the interest is mutual, they inform their parents. The man's parents then arrange to visit the prospective bride's parents. After they secure her consent and that of her parents, they agree on a wedding day. Before the wedding day, they pay her bride price, and that solidifies the consent of the bride's parents. The bride-to-be is usually advised to avoid traveling out of town as her wedding day approaches. On the wedding day, there is much dancing, eating, and drinking. The couple also receive loads of gifts. In the traditional Yoruba setting, The Ekun-Iyawo ritual then takes place after the glamorous wedding ceremony. This entails the bride crying as her family, friends, and well-wishers see her off to her husband's house. Then they pray for her and wash her feet to cleanse bad luck before she enters her husband's house. Finally, Yorubas take funerals of their elders quite seriously. According to their belief, death is not the end of life. It is instead a transition from one form of existence to another. This new form of existence is one that the human mind cannot unravel. They believe strongly in having a good name before death, as they see it as a highly essential legacy. They also believe that ancestors have the power to watch over their descendants, so they constantly plead with these ancestors to remember them. As part of their traditional beliefs, they perform certain funeral rites for the dead, and not everyone who dies qualifies for afterlife. Those who do are called ancestors, and their qualification is as a result of the quality of their lives on earth. One of the funeral rites is to kill a fowl called Adierano in order to make the road to the other side of life easy for the deceased. Also, during the lying in state, they cook some yam and place it at the deceased's feet as food on their way to the afterlife. When the corpse is eventually lowered into the grave, their children ask the deceased not to sleep, but rather keep their eyes open to watch over them. However, the death of a young person or a child is not celebrated, and it is believed that he or she will come back to the world, especially those they consider abiku, that is, children who die before reaching puberty. The Yorubas hold these beliefs of naming, wedding, and funerals in high esteem and have over the years practiced them wholeheartedly. Though civilization, as well as recent religious beliefs, has to a large extent affected the practices of these beliefs in the last few decades. What have we missed out of these cultural practices? Let's know in the comment section. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share, and subscribe to our channel.